Hi guys, it's Allie. So today I decided I would talk about flirting. Now, a lot of girls have trouble flirting with guys because you don't want to come off desperate, but you don't want him to think you aren't interested in him, and it's just it's confusing, to be honest, for girls especially. So, basically I thought I would give you a couple tips, also help you figure out if a guy's interested in you or not. So, my first tip would probably be about body language. Now, body language plays a huge role in flirting, and I think it's important to pay attention to how you're reacting to what a guy's saying. So, I guess my advice would be if, you're having a conversation and you think something he says is really funny, touch his arm, touch his hand. I mean, don't go all out and, grab his leg or, grab his head or something weird, because you don't want to come off desperate and you don't want to come off crazy. And I guess with different things like winking, I'm not a huge fan of, because I feel like it comes off kind of cheap, and it's more like funny now than flirtatious. So I wouldn't suggest winking. You can, but I wouldn't suggest it. My second tip would probably be what most of these videos say, smile and laughing is a huge part in, flirting. Now, I wouldn't, laugh as hard as you can at everything he says, because he's probably going to think you're crazy, or he's probably going to know you aren't really, into what he's saying if you do that. But, when you think something's genuinely funny, or when you think he says something cute, laugh or giggle. I hate that word, but giggle. And, make sure that he knows that you appreciate what he's saying and you're listening to what he's saying. And by laughing and reacting like that, you're letting him know that you're listening and you think what he's saying is interesting. Smiling can also help out with flirting. I mean, if it's just starting out, that you just started liking this guy, a small smile can really go a long way once in a while, and let him know that he exists. But I wouldn't smile at him for too long, because it gets kind of creepy. But 3-second little eye contact smile I think is a good way to go about getting a guy to notice you, and for him to know that you notice him too. I also want to include a part of this video that a lot of the other videos haven't included, and I think a lot of girls have trouble with, which is texting. It's really hard to flirt when you're texting, because unless you add a winky face, sometimes it can be hard to tell if you're being flirty, or if you're being serious, or if you're kidding, or it can be really hard. But I think that a winky face once in a while, an exclamation point, make sure he understands what you're saying. Keep it light. Don't get into anything too dark. Keep it funny. Be yourself, mostly, because you don't want to get into a relationship where he thinks you're a completely different person, and he finds out that the real you, although it's awesome, is not what he was expecting. So, another thing with texting would be when to text. I think that it's appropriate to text a guy first once or twice a week, because you don't want to come off so desperate for him that you're texting him all the time, and you won't want to be that weird girl he talks to his friends about that's stalking him. So I think 2 to 3 times a week, or rather 1 to 2 times a week, is probably a good way to go about that. And to be completely honest, I think that after 3 weeks of you texting him first, and if he doesn't text you first, I don't think he's interested. Also, if he keeps his answers really short all the time, like K, cool, those kinds of things, and you're the only one contributing to the conversation, it's more likely that he isn't interested in you. He still could be. He could be that type of guy that plays it cool, but I don't really think that he would be interested in you if he kept those, short answers with you all the time. So I really hope my advice helped you with flirting. So remember, laugh but don't be fake about it. Text but don't be a stalker. And touch but don't grope. Bye, you guys.